There's a hole in my bucket, there lies a, there lies a. There's a hole in my bucket, there lies a, there's a hole.
Then fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry, fix it.
With what shall I fix it, there lies a, there lies a. With what shall I fix it, there lies a, with what?
With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, with a straw.
But the straw is too long, there lies a, there lies a. But the straw is too long, there lies a, too long.
Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, cut it.
With what shall I cut it, there lies a, there lies a. With what shall I cut it, there lies a, with what?
With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With an axe, dear Henry, dear Henry, an axe.
But the axe is too dull, there lies a, there lies a. But the axe is too dull, there lies a, too dull.
Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, sharpen it.
With what shall I sharpen it, there lies a, there lies a. With what shall I sharpen it, there lies a, with what?
With a stone, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a stone, dear Henry, dear Henry, a stone.
But the stone is too dry, there lies a, there lies a. But the stone is too dry, there lies a, too dry.
Then wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry, wet it.
With what shall I wet it, there lies a, there lies a. With what shall I wet it, there lies a, with what?
With water, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With water, dear Henry, dear Henry, with water.
And how shall I get it, there lies a, there lies a. And how shall I get it, there lies a. How shall I?
With a bucket, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With a bucket, dear Henry, dear Henry, the bucket.
There's a hole in